Hello, today I am back with some Incoco nail wraps. I show these on the blog from time to time and I love them either as fast nail art, especially during the holidays, or as a base for other nail art. To me, they're like any other embellishment. You can do you can do a cool accent nail with these and then stamp on the rest, or however you want to work it. And in particular, I want to show you how I cut down some of the ones that are bigger if I want them for an accent nail. So say, for example, I wanted to use this on a ring finger or a middle finger, and I didn't have enough, and so I needed to cut that down. I want to show you today how I do that. I want to use this one. This is going to be on my ring finger, and I want this one to be on my thumb, but you can see that's going to be way too big for my thumb. And then I'm going to do the rest in green, in this green glitter to match. And I love their glitters because they are so easy to remove. Okay, so I know that this is a very good fit for my thumb. I've used these sets before, so I know that this is going to be one that covers pretty well on my thumb. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take this, and if you don't want to risk hurting this nail wrap, you can apply this nail wrap, and then you could just use the backing that you're going to have left to do this. And so I'm just going to center it here, line it up on the bottom, and center it as best I can. And if this isn't exact, that's fine, you know, because you'll be able to clean any like inexact edges or whatever up with acetone. So then I'm just going to go along and follow like I'm cutting out, going back to kindergarten. And I admit that I was never good at cutting in kindergarten, and I'm not super good at it now. You can see that it's slid a little bit already, and I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't slide anymore. And so you can also see there's going to be like a little bit of a few points here, but because I'm not cutting it perfectly smooth, but that's going to be okay because that'll come right off with a little bit of acetone and my cleanup tool. All right, and I'm also not going to worry too much about that because that part there at the bottom isn't going to show up anyway. Okay, so now I have a nail wrap here that's the size that I want it. I'm going to peel off that top layer, and then if you haven't used Incoco before, you then grab this silver layer. This part, the bottom part, pulls right off. That was one of the reasons why I wasn't too worried about the exact shape. Usually you can use either side. So in this case, I've already sort of trimmed this to the size I know I'm going to want it to be. It's not perfect in terms of shape, but I'll be able to work that out with a little bit of acetone. So I'm going to go in here along this one side of my nail, and then I usually don't have to worry about it. It's going to come all the way to the edge pretty okay, but if you're worried if there's a little gap there, you can, this is the part where you can stretch it just a little bit if you need to get it to go over there smoothly. Okay, so you can see I've got full coverage there from side to side, and I've got a little bit extra here, and that's going to allow me to go in with some acetone and just clean up that edge and get rid of the little nastiness where I didn't cut it exactly perfectly. All right, I'm going to smooth. I always smooth up the sides, and then if I need to, I will peel this back just a little bit. Remember that as long as you don't, as long as you're working within about a minute, you can reposition these, and that makes it pretty easy to get a nice smooth fit. And that's what I love about Incoco. You can get that nice smooth fit without the bubbles. And then once I have it where I want it, and I know that I don't have any bubbles, that this is all smooth and it's sitting well, I go in. You can do it with an orange stick. I use this, and I just go in and press down around the edges just to make sure I have a nice seal and make sure that it's as firm as it can get, and up through to the top. Then what I'm going to do, once I've done that, then I take a rough emery board. I don't use a glass nail file for this because I want something that's going to be a little bit rougher. I go down in the middle here, press that down in the middle of my nail, and then I just gently take the emery board so that you can see now it's going to have a little bit of a rough edge, so I'll be able to pull that off. And then I come over here this way, and I push that down like that, and do the same thing, just a little bit gentle with my emery board. You can see it's already pulling this part, the center part, back. Then I come over and I do this side, just a little gentle push here. And usually at this point, as you see, it's already falling off, but I'll just pull it a little bit gently. If I feel like it's a little bit fuzzy or it needs a little bit of cleaning up. This is where I pull out the nail file, my glass nail file, and I will file it down like that. But of course, what I don't want to do is just be, filing the heck out of my actual nail. So there we go, and now you can see that fits all nice and pretty except for this little line here. So now we are gonna take that off. So I usually use my normal cleanup brush, and I usually just use straight acetone. I get a good amount on the brush and then tamp it off just a little bit. Then I will go in, apply it right there. It'll take a minute, so I'll leave it, get a little bit more on the brush, tamp it off, and then that first layer of acetone should already be working to kind of shrink it off a little bit. You can see it's starting to shrink up there. And unlike with normal nail polish, when I do this, I would like to be gentle, because if you do too much, you can get it where it's all shriveled up and gross. You just want it to come off a little bit and give you a nice little line there. And boom, there you go. See there? But that's how you do it. That's how I get my Incoco nail wraps on and how I get them to fit. And so there you go. That's how you do it. Thanks for watching.